Good afternoon, groovy citizens, and happy, satisfying Saturday. I hope you all have had a phenomenal day. I myself have been resting most of the day, and I did go out earlier to get my nails done. I'm telling you how God is so good, because my nail tech actually told me I could come today at 4 o'clock because I have a tea that I'm going to on next Saturday, so I can't get my nails done next Saturday. And Ryan's only there on the weekends, and so he said, well, 4 o'clock I'll be free. I said, okay, cool. Well, he calls me this morning at about 8:30, and he goes, hey, can you come at 9:45? I said, okay. It was gonna be a stretch, and yes, I was a few minutes late, but that's neither here nor there. But I did get there. So bam, got my purple nails done. You see my little accent nail right here. And so I'm excited about that. And then, let's see, around noonish, I went to a memorial service for someone who was very near and dear to my family who passed away. And so it was just nice, seeing all of her siblings and people I hadn't seen in a long time, and, just kind of getting caught up and what have you. So I certainly, my prayers go out to Niecy's family and to her friends, all that knew her, even those that could not come to her memorial service. It was really, really nice. And, God is just good. And I know a lot of people are going through some stuff right now. So I just want to say that I am praying for each and every one of you that may be going through something right now. I know, life is rough sometimes, but just know that God always has your back, even when you feel like you're alone. And for those of you that are celebrating birthdays, I want to say happy birthday to you all. If I missed your birthday since last time I did a car conversation, or I may not know about it again on Monday, I want to say happy birthday if you have a birthday in the month of March, period. May God continue to keep you and to bless you. Now, let's jump into today's topic. Today's topic is, you are the storm. Let me say that one more time. You are the storm. Let me let you all in on a little secret that many of you don't know. But one of my favorite movies is The Perfect Storm. I'm sure many of you have watched. If you haven't, just Google it. You should be able to find it. I don't know, it might be on Yahoo Movies, I'm not sure, but just, look it up. I don't think it's on Netflix, but just look it up. It's called The Perfect Storm, and that is one of my favorite movies because it's a movie about these fishermen, right? And they know that this storm is coming. And what I love, so I did a little research and I looked into it, and the perfect storm is that storm that that's coming, and there's nothing that you can do about it. As you saw in that movie, there was nothing that you could do about it. But those men, they did what they had to do, and they made it back home safely. And so after that, I thought, you know what? I love that. And so my first tattoo I told you all about a few weeks ago is a butterfly that I have right here over my right shoulder. Well, I had put over top of it, I had the words, The Perfect Storm, tattooed over top of it, because I see myself, always have been, always will be, as being the perfect storm. And I'm going to unpack that for you in just a second. But here's a quote that I wanted to share with you, and it says, the devil, and this is one of my favorite quotes, y'all love it. It says, the devil whispers, you cannot withstand the storm. The warrior replies, I am the storm. And that's why I'm telling you today that you are the storm. So let's talk about what a storm is. A storm can be male or female. And it's the kind of person who still manages to find a way to smile. Let me stop right there one more and just repeat that one more time. The kind of person who still manages to find a way to smile. They'll make everyone around them feel good and help them in any way possible that they can. No matter how much pain they're in, they'll help you and make you have the biggest smile on your face. They're always happy and want to make you happy as well. You guys, when I tell you that is so me, I need you to truly believe that. And if you know me, then you already know that. Just like I told you all a few days ago, I was in a car accident. Okay, it was a really bad car accident, and I would not even dare to show you all the picture of the truck that I was driving, but the front end was so either smashed up and or gone that it looks like there was nothing before the engine, if that makes sense to you. And my mother's truck, she had an airbag. Of course, most vehicles have airbags in the steering wheel, but she had one that was like right up here someplace, one that was along here and on the other side. I mean, just coming out from everywhere. And it was such that most people, if God had saw fit, that could have been my end. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I am so thankful. And because of that, y'all, I cannot wait to go to church tomorrow. But that could have been my end. But I believe that was God's way of saying, not yet, storm. I still have more work for you to do. Come on now, don't make me preach this thing. But like I said, it just, the storm is that person that can put a smile on your face and will do whatever it is they need to do to make you happy, in spite of how they're feeling. And I mentioned that yesterday when I did my car conversation. What did I say? I said, to be honest with you, I don't feel like motivating anybody. I truly did not. But I did it anyway because it was not about me. When I do my motivational videos or my reels or whatever it is I'm doing when I'm motivating people, it's not about Michelle. It's about you all. It's about making sure that you're getting what you need so that you can go out there and feel much better after hearing my video than you did before you heard it. It's my goal to make sure that I'm helping to lift you up, to encourage you to keep moving forward and not get stuck where you are. That is my goal. Always has been and always will be. So when I think of a storm and I tell you that I am the perfect storm, which is why I have it tattooed on my back, I know what I am. See, I don't need anybody to tell me because I know what I am. Even like I said, right now, I don't feel my best. And unfortunately, I've done everything else today besides go get my muscle relaxer. And I'm going to try to get over to CVS before they close. And if not, I'll just have to get it tomorrow. But I don't feel my best, but I'm still here because I want to encourage you. I want to motivate you. And I want you to become a storm as well, because I believe that you are a storm. You may not know it, but I believe that you are a storm. And then it goes on to say, the storm also lives each day to the fullest and without worries or regrets. Oh, let me put a pin right there. Honey, I have to lift my hand on that one. Let me tell you something. I live each day to the fullest because I'm always keenly aware that every day could be the last day that we have here on this planet. So I live each day to the fullest. And I live without worries or regrets. I don't regret a thing. Excuse me, y'all, my signs are draining. Do I think about sometimes decisions that I've made? Of course I do. But I don't regret a thing because I believe everything that I've ever done in my life was done for a reason. I truly do. And I want you to feel that way. So don't you live in regret. Okay, that relationship didn't work out. Whatever, let me say this. Whatever relationship, doesn't matter what kind it is, if it didn't work out, you played a part in it, but I don't want you to regret it. You know why? Because you did what you did, or you said what you said for a reason. There was a reason why you did what you did. It may not make sense to other people, and that's all right, but it makes sense to you and it makes sense to God. So don't ever let anybody make you live in regret, and don't you live in regret. But also, when I talk about worries, honey, let me tell you something. I may not have all of the pieces to the puzzle that I need for whatever reason, but I don't live with worries. I really don't. You know why? Because I know that God is going to work out whatever that thing is. It doesn't matter what it is. God is always going to work it out. He's done it before, and I know he's going to do it again. That's why I love the Lord. Like the song says, he heard my cry and pitied every groan. Long as I live, while troubles rise, I'll hasten to his throne. So I don't have to live with worry. I don't worry about whether or not I have enough money for this, that, or the other, because I know God's going to make a way. I don't worry about how things are going to work out, because God is going to make a way. And so I want to encourage you all not to live with worries either. But I digress. Let me keep moving. And it says, continuously find the brightest moments in the darkest of times. I've always been that person that no matter what's going on, I can always find the good thing in a bad situation. I can always see that bright light in the darkest of rooms. You understand what I'm saying? That's just how I am. Okay, so you know what? Things aren't working out, but guess what? On the bright side, and I can always find that bright side. And people sometimes will look at me like, what? I just do. I refuse to let any situation bring me to my knees and keep me there. The only reason why I would be down on my knees is because I'm praying to God anyway. But other than that, I refuse to allow anything to beat me down. I'm always going to find the good thing about whatever that bad situation is. That's what a storm does. They have a huge influence in other people's lives, and they can encourage this way of life. So I know that I have a huge influence in a lot of people's lives because I get people telling me this all the time. And that's why I always love to make sure I thank each and every one of you, because I'm of the belief that you just never know how you bless somebody's life, how you make a difference in somebody's life. So for those of you that say, Michelle, you have no idea how much you bless me every time I listen to one of your videos, or how much I just get so motivated by watching your videos. I truly appreciate you, and I say thank you, but I appreciate you as well. Because my gift, I believe, is to motivate God's people. And in order for me to do that, I have to have a crowd, right? So, but that's what a storm does. So here are 5 things to do when you are in a storm. See, I talked about how you are a storm, but if you find yourself in a storm, here are 5 things that you need to do, according to Pastor Rick Warren. And so number 1, he says, have courage. Don't ever argue with your fears. Just tell it where to go. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Tell it to talk to Jesus. See, we're not going to argue with fears. We're going to have courage. And sometimes you may have to dig way down inside to find that courage, but I need you to always find courage no matter what is going on in your life, because I promise you, if you have a little talk with Jesus, tell him all about your troubles. Come on, y'all know that song. You will find the courage that you need. And then number 2, he says, take a risk in faith. Don't ask God to bless what you're doing. He says, instead, do what God is blessing. Ask him what he wants you to do, and then be willing to do it with him. Did you hear what he said? He says, ask him what he wants you to do, and then be willing to do it with him. So don't say, well, God, what is it that you want me to do, while I sit back here with my arms folded and God is going ahead of me doing what it is that he's told me to do. As a matter of fact, the thing that I asked him about, now I'm gonna sit back and watch him work with my arms folded. Be ready to do it with God. So you need to take a risk in faith. And I think a lot of times people don't want to ask God, what is it that you would have me to do? Because a lot of times God is going to tell you that he wants you to do something that's not what you want to do. And if you don't hear him tell you that he wants you to do what you want to do, and he's got something else planned for you, so you don't want to hear that, you just shut it all down. So you figure, well, I'm just not going to ask. That way I can do what I want to do. No, I always want to make sure that I am doing what God has told me to do, what God has ordained for me to do, because I don't want to waste my time doing anything. So take a risk in faith. Number 3, stay focused on Jesus. The moment you take your eyes off of him, it's over. I'm trying to tell you, I've been down that road too many times. The moment you take your eyes off Jesus, it is over. Matthew 14:30 says this, but when Peter saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, Lord, save me. And this is from the NIV version. So if you focused on the wind and the waves, which are your circumstances, you're going to sink, just like Peter did. You all remember the story, don't you? Where Peter is walking on the water. He asked God I forget exactly how it goes, but anyway, he said, God, if you are truly who you are, then you will permit me to come to you, basically is what he said. And God said, come. And he starts to walk, and then as soon as he looked down, he began to sink. You know why? Because he took his eyes off Jesus and started to focus on the fact that he's walking on this water. And he goes, oh, wait a minute, this can't be happening. And he starts to sink and he starts to flail about and all this other good stuff. But all he had to do was just keep walking towards Jesus and keeping his eyes focused on him and not on his circumstance. So that's what I want to encourage you all to do. Take your eyes off whatever your circumstance is and keep them focused on God. Number four, don't doubt. He says you don't need great faith to make it through the storm or the storms in your life. You just need faith in the right person, and that's Jesus. Y'all, let me tell you something. I know too much about him, so I don't have to doubt him. Come on now. It doesn't matter what happens in life, no matter how big or small, if you stay focused on God and you don't doubt him, honey, let me tell you something. God is going to bring you out of whatever it is you're going through better than you went in. But you've got to make sure that you're not doubting him. Because if I was God, I'd say, well, then why am I going to help Barbara if she's going to doubt me? I'm going to let her sit back and do whatever it is she thinks she needs to do on her own. But that's just me. And number 5, praise. Praise God. Even in the storm, when you feel like you're sinking, even when you're scared to death, praise him all the time. Thank God in the middle of the storm. What storm is scary? And so then he asked the question, what storm is scaring you right now? So I need you to think about that. I want you to, if you need to, pause this video, but I want you to think about what storm in your life right now is scaring you. It could be a financial storm. It could be a relationship storm. It could be a job storm. Whatever it is, what storm is scaring you right now? And then he asked the question, what storm is sinking you? What storm in your life is causing you to sink? Because you've taken your eyes off of the one that can save you, that can fix whatever it is that you're dealing with. And then he says, why do you think God is letting you go through this storm? That's a big one, y'all. That's a big one right there. Some of you all are going through some storms in your life right now. And I want you to ask yourself, why is God allowing me to go through this storm? I can tell you right off the bat that God allows us to go through storms because he's trying to get our attention. Some of you think that you don't need him. And God is saying, oh, you don't think that you need me? Okay, well, I'm going to sit back and let you sink just a little bit. And just before you go under, come on, somebody, I'm going to grab you by your shirt and pull you back up and say, okay, now do you need me? Come on now. Sometimes God lets you go through your storms because he's got to get your attention. Sometimes God is allowing you to go through your storm. See, because without a test, come on somebody, you don't have a testimony. Amen. You have a testimony because you've gone through a test. And so that's why he's allowing you to go through this storm, because now you can take the storm that you're going through and you can share it with somebody else and be a blessing to somebody else with your story. But there's so many reasons why that storm that you're dealing with is happening in your life. Some of you have done some things to some folks that were very hurtful and ungodly like, and God says, okay, well, you know what? Unfortunately, you're going to have to pay for that thing you did over here. I'm going to have to allow you to go through this storm. I got you though. Don't ever think that you're by yourself. See, one thing I do know, that even when you when God is allowing you to go through what you're going through because of something that you did to somebody else, oh honey, he still has you. He still has his arms around you. He's still right there walking with you. He's never going to leave you alone. As the song says, never alone. God never will leave us nor forsake us. He's always right there with us. So just know that. But he's got to put you through that. And then sometimes, guess what, y'all? Sometimes God is just testing us. See, God's got to test your faith. You remember the story of Job when his life was just falling apart. He lost his sons and I mean, his life just fell apart. And what did his wife tell him? She said, Job, if I were you, I would curse God and die. And to be honest with you, most people probably would have cursed him and died, because he just went through so much stuff. I can't even begin to imagine how he was able to go through all of that and still hold his head up and still say, God, I trust you. God, I won't forsake you. He went through so much stuff, but God knew his heart, first of all. He knew his heart. And that's something else I love about God. Y'all, let me just say this real quick, and I promise we're going to move on. There's something else I love about God. See, he already knows your heart. He knows that, guess what? I can give A, B, C, and X, Y, and Z to Michelle because I know her heart already. I know I have her heart. I know she's not going to curse me. I know she's not going to give up on me. I know she's going to walk through faith and not by sight and try to do this thing by herself. He knows that. And whatever your name is inserted in there, God knows you. That's why he's allowing you to go through what you're going through, because he knows you and he can trust you. But sometimes he says, I just need to make sure that if I let this person go through this thing, that they're not going to throw me to the wolves. As the Bible says, they're not going to curse God and deal with the consequences of cursing God. God says, I know her heart. I know his heart. I can put them through some stuff and they're still not going to give up on me. Do you know that there have been times in my life, you guys, that I've gone through some rough patches, but I still believed in God. I still went to church every Sunday. I still went to Bible study. I still read my word. I still prayed. I still believed. I still thank God for fixing whatever that situation was. I never gave up because my faith was so strong that I knew that he was going to fix it. I didn't know when, but I knew that he was going to fix it. I digress. God is letting you go through the storm for the same reasons he sent the disciples into the storm. He wants you to know, I am all you need. I can handle anything, and I'll come walking on the very thing that scares you the most. I'm not asking you to come to me. I'm going to come to you. Y'all, that's powerful. That'll shout you. See, you missed your shouting moment. You missed your shouting moment. That was it right now. I'm going to say that one more time. I said, God is letting you go through the storm for the same reasons he sent the disciples into the storm, because he wants you to know that I am all you need. I can handle anything, and I'll come walking on the very thing that scares you the most. I'm not asking you to come to me. Come on, somebody. I'm going to come to you. Again, you missed your shouting moment, because that's your moment to shout right there. That is your moment to shout right there. God said, I'm not asking you to come to me. I'm going to come to you. Come on, somebody. And I'm going to walk on the very thing that scares you the most. So whatever it is that scares you the most, guess what? God is going to walk on that thing as he comes to you to let you know that I've got your back, to let you know that I am here with you, to let you know that I've always been here with you, to let you know that I've never left you, nor would I even think about forsaking you. Come on, somebody. We serve a good God, and I need you to always remember that. Always, always, always remember that we serve a good God. He says, if you feel like you're sinking today, don't fear. Just call out to Jesus and you'll find he's with you. That's your takeaway right there. So no matter what you're going through, because I don't know your situation unless you tell me. That's why I tell people all the time, I have no idea unless you tell me. But whatever it is that you're going through, I just need you to understand and know that God is with you. His word says that he will never leave us nor forsake us. He is right there with you. You don't have to feel like you have to do this by yourself, because you don't. And no matter what you're going through, I need you to make sure that you don't give up, that you don't give in, but most importantly, that you continue to pray. Pray without ceasing. That's what the word of God tells us to do. So whatever it is that's going on in your life right now, it could be something that's going on with you personally, somebody that you know. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. I need you, again, don't give up, don't give in, but most importantly, keep praying. Pray without ceasing. Pray until something happens. We have a ministry at my church that's called Push. Pray until something happens. And that means that if you got to pray 3-4 times a day, that's what you're doing. And you can get on your knees. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you know me, then you know I got bad knees. So for me to get on my knees, that probably is not gonna happen. Now, I might do it if I was leaning on a pillow, but it'd be quite hard for me to get up. But I digress. But you've got to pray until something has happened. If you're looking for a job, you need some financial relief in your life right now. You have a relationship that's on the rocks. You have some kids that are acting like they have lost their last good mind. They're acting like plumb, you know what, fools. I need you to pray. Maybe you're sick in your mind or in your body. Maybe somebody you know is sick in the mind or in the body. You know, we need to pray for this world. I pray for this world every day. I mean, and I pray hard, Lord. I pray hard, and every day I say, Lord, I know you can fix it. And there's a reason why we're dealing with the things we're dealing with. I don't know what that is, and I don't need to know, but I know that you can fix it. But what I'm asking you to do is to keep pushing, praying until something happens. And don't you give up, because you are the storm. I am the storm. I've always known that I am the storm. But now that you know, you need to go out there and act like you are the storm. Continue to pray. Do not give up on God, and I promise you, you will see change. That you remember the song by Sam Cooke? I love that song. A change is gonna come. What did he say? It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. He says, I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. So that's what I want you to, and y'all go find that song. That's one of my favorite songs. It's in my actually it's in a couple of my playlists, but I want you to go find that song, because a change is going to come. Just know that you are a storm. You've been sent here to make change in a positive way, and don't you give up. Don't you give in, and most of all, do not stop praying, because we all have to pray until something happens. Listen, you guys, that's my time. I want to say thank you so much for giving me just a little bit of your time to speak life into you, to let you know that you are the storm. Some of you already knew that, but for those of you that didn't, I want you to know that you are a storm. Whatever you're going through right now, this too shall pass. Don't you ever sit back and think that it won't, because it will. There's another song that says, it won't always, y'all know this is my favorite, be like this. The Lord will perfect that concerning you, concerning me, concerning us. And sooner or later, it'll turn in our favor. It's turning around for me. Well, the song says for me, but I'm saying it's turning around for us. Our change is going to come. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I want to say welcome. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me, because y'all know I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I want you to remember that you are a storm. You are the storm. And don't you ever forget that. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you're going out, please do so responsibly. Okay, make sure you're safe, and if you don't have to go out, stay in. It's a windy day. It's actually 56 degrees, but it's been very windy today. The sun was out earlier, but I just want you all to go out there and be safe. And always, 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 y'all know the drill, you know the spiel. I love you to the moon and back, and there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can ever do about that, because I'm always gonna love you. Most of you I don't know personally. Most of you I've never even met, and I probably never get a chance to meet, and it's all right. I still love you, and I want nothing but the best for you. Remember, you are the storm, so go out there and act like it. Love you all, and we'll talk again on Monday.